The war no one declared, but everyone feels. In 2025, the war doesn't come with a name. It arrives with smoke, sirens, and silence. A missile hits a convoy in Syria. A drone strikes a weapons depot in Iraq. An explosion in Isfahan rattles nerves around the globe. No one claims responsibility, but everyone knows who's behind it. Israel's shadow war with Iran has turned into something far more dangerous, more frequent, more public, and more reckless. Iranian military leaders have been targeted in Damascus. Israeli embassies tighten security after threats. U.S. warships shift position in the Gulf, as if waiting for the next spark. This isn't quiet anymore, it's smoldering. And on the streets of Tehran, people line up for bread. Power cuts leave families in the dark. Young men scroll through videos of bombed-out buildings in Lebanon and Gaza, wondering if their turn is next. In Tel Aviv, parents double-check the location of bomb shelters. In Washington, leaders argue about sending more weapons while Americans face soaring inflation and broken health care. It's not a declared war, but it's real, and it's spreading. The fear isn't just about what's happening. It's about what comes next. One wrong move, one airstrike too far, one misread signal, and everything explodes. Not just for soldiers or politicians, but for everyone. And yet, the silence from leaders is louder than the blasts. No plan, no talks, just more buildup, more blame. The time to stop pretending this is just tension is over. This is war, just without the honesty to say it. And it's the people, not the power, who are paying the price. The deal that could have saved us. The nuclear deal was never perfect, but it was working. Before it collapsed, Iran had cut its uranium enrichment. Inspectors were monitoring facilities. There was breathing room, hope. But that was years ago. Now, in 2025, Iran is enriching uranium at levels never seen before. Western intelligence warns that a breakout capability is closer than ever. Talks to revive the deal, dragged out and poisoned by mistrust, have all but died. The U.S. has returned to maximum pressure. Israel has warned of preemptive strikes. And Iran? It keeps building, keeps threatening, and keeps suffering under sanctions that crush ordinary people. The nuclear issue isn't about politics anymore. It's about survival. A single strike on a facility in Natanz could trigger a full-scale war. And yet, no one seems serious about diplomacy. Negotiators walk away. Leaders posture for cameras. Meanwhile, the bomb clock keeps ticking. People in the region live with that fear every day. Not the fear of whether there will be a war, but when. And who will survive it? There is still a way out. The deal can still be revived or reshaped, but not with threats, not with bombs, with talking, with courage, with urgency. Because if we wait until the first mushroom cloud rises, it won't matter who was right. When leaders fail at home, they look for enemies abroad. Inside Iran, the government is losing its grip. After years of protests, from the 2022 Mahsa Amini uprising to the ongoing economic breakdowns, people are angry. They're tired. The Revolutionary Guard cracks down harder than ever, but dissent hasn't gone away. It's gone deeper. So what does the regime do? Shift the focus. Blame Israel. Blame the U.S. stoke nationalism. Rally the faithful with slogans while the rest suffer. In Israel, the government is in crisis again. Controversial judicial reforms have split the country. Mass protests continue in Jerusalem and Tel Aviv. The far-right coalition faces backlash at home and pressure abroad. So what better way to unite a divided nation than by rallying against an old enemy? Iran becomes the excuse. Gaza becomes the stage. And in the U.S., Foreign policy changes depending on who's in power. With the new election season already heating up, politicians are once again using Iran and Israel as political talking points. Hawks call for more airstrikes. Doves warn of endless war. But on the streets of Detroit, Houston, and Philadelphia, Americans are asking, why are we funding more conflict when we can't afford medicine or safe schools? It's a pattern as old as history. When things fall apart at home, some leaders look for enemies abroad. It distracts, it diverts, and it always ends in blood. But this time, people across all three nations are waking up, and they're asking the same question. When did we become the enemies of our own people? Talk before it's too late. Right now, somewhere in a quiet office in Geneva or Doha, there's a table collecting dust. It was meant for peace, for talks, for compromise. But the seats are empty. Meanwhile, the missiles fly. The threats grow. The world watches, but no one moves. Talks are not a sign of weakness. They're a lifeline. They are how wars are prevented, not how power is lost. And yet pride, politics, and propaganda have kept the chairs empty. What would it take to fill them? It would take courage from leaders in Iran, Israel, and the United States to admit what their people already know. This is not sustainable. War is not a solution. It is a failure that punishes generations to come. There is still time. The future is not yet written. But the window is closing. Let them talk. Before the world is forced to listen to the sound of sirens again and again.